Let's bring in Maurice Jones-Drew, the NFL Network analyst, former great running back. And he led the NFL in rushing, I think, in 2011. He's the Rams color analyst, and he joins us now. You can follow him on Twitter at MJD. Do you think you could have played quarterback in the NFL like we saw with the Broncos yesterday?
I'm glad you asked that question. That was a great question to start with. In my career, I'm 1 for 2 with an interception and a touchdown. So I'm gonna be high risk, high reward. I felt like the Broncos were kind of put in a horrible situation, but if you have a running back, it was just weird to see them put a practice squad college quarterback there. When you have a running back, you could just run wildcat the whole game. We saw the Carolina Panthers do it. I would have did it. When I was in Jacksonville, I was the emergency quarterback, and we had a package set up where we'd run 6 or 7 plays, 2 passes, 5 runs, and we were just going to make it work.
Well, plus you have somebody who's on the practice squad, doesn't even get any reps in practice whatsoever. Should that game have been played yesterday, Mo?
Yeah, I don't think so, because then one team has a serious competitive advantage, and you saw how you were able to move the Ravens-Steelers game back to Tuesday. I felt like they should have moved the Saints-Broncos game back to Tuesday as well. And then you have a short week, but you give the team at least an opportunity to compete. And to be honest, I felt like if Denver would have had a quarterback, the game might have been a completely different game, because Taysom Hill didn't play like he did against the Falcons. So you might have had an opportunity to steal that one.
I love this tweet by Kevin Clark. He says, the idea of a game without quarterbacks is more fun than an actual game without quarterbacks. I tuned in and I quickly went, this game isn't it? I'm not watching this. This isn't entertaining at all. And now it leads me to the question about Baltimore against Pittsburgh. Baltimore's practice was canceled this morning by the NFL. Snow in the forecast tomorrow in Pittsburgh, so they're not even sure about their flight to Pittsburgh. Should this game be played tomorrow in Pittsburgh?
Well, it has to. I think you've done everything in your power to make sure that Baltimore can put a team together. They have a quarterback. They have multiple. RG3 is there. They have guys that can go. There's not one position that doesn't, you don't have guys for. So you've given Baltimore every opportunity to try to figure this thing out. They need to go out there and play. I think it's a completely different circumstance in the Denver Broncos, who got told on, Friday night or Saturday morning, that all their quarterbacks can't play, where Baltimore's known kind of what's going on. And you can do the virtual thing. We've seen it. Big Ben didn't practice all week, came out and had a big day. In the NFL, too, this is the other thing I have to tell you. In the NFL, it's less about you have to be mentally prepared to go out there and make plays. And so I think the virtual meetings and understanding what you have to do, you've already repped those things a million times. And I know this is a pivotal game for the Baltimore Ravens, but whatever happened in your organization, the league is giving you opportunities to kind of try to right the ship. I think they need to play this game and get this week over with.
Who does Derrick Henry remind you of when he runs?
There's some people say Eddie George. I don't think there's a guy like him. And I always tell people this, Derrick Henry's never that good of a running back in September and October, early parts of November. But come Thanksgiving, for some reason, he just starts running like a madman. He's going to rush for 1,000 yards in the next 6 weeks. He'll close out the season with leading the league in rushing. And he's going to lead the Tennessee Titans to another playoff run, because people don't want to tackle someone that weighs 250 pounds. And, he's great in space. He has short, which for such a big, lanky guy, which they call high cut, he has great short area quickness. And so, and to be honest, it's more of a mental factor. A lot of people don't want to tackle him when it gets cold, because they know it hurts. And so we saw that against the Indianapolis Colts, and he's going to keep doing that. And so I think he's in a league of his own when it comes to guys. I guess you could say Jerome Bettis, but people were still trying to tackle Jerome when they got cold. People just don't want to tackle Derrick Henry right now.
But what's that like when they don't want to tackle you? Their job is to tackle you, and then they make business decisions to. How do you not tackle somebody?
Well, it hurts. I think it's like, if you get hit in the face with a bat, you don't want to step in the batting cage again for a while while someone's swinging. You're like, that kind of hurt a little bit. Maybe I'll just sit behind this fence and watch. For those DBs, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, look, I just tackled this dude. Why am I tackling him? Why is a corner and a safety? This is for linebackers. And then linebackers are like, look, Look, you're getting this guy a 5-yard head start, okay? D-line is your job. And the D-line's like, look, I'm trying to come off block I'm not trying to put my face out there so he get ran over too. It hurts. It's a business. Like you said, it's like, do I want to take this pain or not? Some people don't want to. Well, most people don't want to.
That terrible loss for the Rams yesterday. You know, they had a great comeback, and then you lose to the 49ers here. But I will say, watching Aaron Donald, I know that we can put Mahomes wherever we want to put him, but as far as the guy that is just better than everybody else on the field, is Aaron Donald. Like it's scary. Even double teaming him, he's a phenomenon. He truly is. And he's going to be one of those guys where we look at his numbers when it's all said and done. We're going to go, oh, he only had like 72 sacks. And he's so much more dominant than any other defensive player in the game. You get to see him all the time.
Oh, listen, first of all, just talk about that game. It seems like the Niners and Kyle Shanahan, they're just a kryptonite to the Rams. They just know how to play them. They know how to neutralize Donald for most of the game, not all of it. They know how to get under Jared Goff's skin. And so they've done it again, right, with Nick Mullins, and they found a way to get the game going. But it was crazy calling that game. Like, everybody's spirits were low because it was like time is running out. Like, something you have to make a play. And on the broadcast, my partner, JB Long, we were talking to DeMarco Parr, and I was like, the defense has to score here on this drive. And then sure enough, Aaron Donald does what Aaron Donald does and gets a strip, creates a forced fumble there, and Troy Hill picks it up. And then on the next series, gets a sack right after, right? And a guy who hadn't had a tackle in 2 weeks, didn't have a quarterback, had a couple quarterback pressures, but not a sack, comes up with a he tipped the ball that got intercepted, impacted his game like crazy, and it's because they needed it. And so it's funny to say that because the Rams have another great defensive player in Jalen Ramsey, but you can see the difference, with Aaron Donald, what he's able to do. And he's normally getting doubled and triple teamed, and it's allowing these other guys to make plays, and he's still leading the league in sacks, which is crazy, right? And so we take it for granted how great he is. But what I do love about him more than anything, Dan, is that he's never satisfied, right? He's always upset. He's always frustrated. He wants more. And I think that's what makes the greats great, is that, like, you're just not satisfied with a phenomenal performance because it wasn't good enough to win. And so he's going back to work, and he's getting back, and I think everybody's getting back to work, getting ready to get after it.
What was your Super Bowl pick?
Oh, it was the Chiefs-Bucks early on. Some people had the Saints, some had the Rams. I think the Rams still have a chance if they match up with the proper team. But I believe, right now, as good as Pittsburgh is, undefeated season and all those, like the Kansas City Chiefs, like I tell people this all the time, Dan. This is people are like you're crazy. The only way to beat the Kansas City Chiefs is if you score 40 points. The only way. In a bad game against the Raiders, they lost 32-40. So you have to be able to put up 40 points and have an offense to do that. And if you can't, sucks to be you kind of thing.
It's great to talk to you. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing the best I can with all this lockdown, trying to just stay busy and keep educating and entertaining through our life of sports, which is awesome. But I hope you're doing well as well. I hope everything for you is working out. And what city are you living in now?
I'm in Connecticut. I'm everything's great. I get to go to the man cave every day, and I got a golf simulator in here, got a basketball hoop, got a grill, beer on top. So real quick, can we switch checks? Because I'm just trying to get that too one day when I grow up. Just a golf simulator and a man cave, like. Yeah, but you got that NFL money. You got NFL running back money, man.
Yeah, they don't value running backs like they used to.
I know.
They just need you to win a bunch of games. They need you to close out games. They just don't give us the money to do such. So we'll see how it goes.
Would you sign a running back to a second contract?
I would, depending on what he's able to bring to the table. I think that's with every position, though. Like, I believe that a lot of people, we sign quarterbacks just because we're supposed to sign quarterbacks. Like, I'm not signing a quarterback unless he's exceptional. I'll just draft another one. And the same thing with a running back. I'm not going to sign a running back or an offensive lineman.
But if I gave Dallas a do-over, Mojo, would you have re-signed Zeke Elliott?
No question.
No, you don't want to give him that money.
Not?
No, he's giving you his best year. He's got a backup who's just as good.
See, that's where you guys are being disrespectful. I think in this situation, what Zeke did for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's remember when they went 13-3, Zeke led the league in rushing.
Oh no, that was then. Mojo, that was then.
Let me. Can I finish? I'm about to tell you. So you go out and you get all these toys, and Kellen Moore stops running the ball. That's why Dallas was so bad early in the year last year. They weren't running the ball. They didn't want to run the ball late, but by that point, he's not in rhythm. He's a rhythm back. So you got to start getting him carries early on. And so you were leaning on Dak, who led the league in passing and all this. And guess what? You went 8-8. But when you ran the ball and Zeke was doing what he was supposed to do, and you were doing those things, you were winning games. And that's the problem with this league. So many people are enamored with the Kansas City Chiefs and what they're able to do with Patrick Mahomes, but not every team is built that way. You need to run the ball in this league to win. And look at the NFC East. Look at their running backs right now. There's a reason. I mean, I would say the Washington football team. Excuse me, I almost slipped up. They have the best back right now in the NFC East, and they're about to win this division. Dallas is beat up; they can't do much of anything. The Eagles are probably the healthiest. Well, becoming one of the more healthier teams, but they're not running the ball worth anything. And to be honest, the Giants, if they had Saquon, they'd be winning this whole thing as well. But you have to be committed to the running game. When you pay a guy $90 million, utilize him. That's what you're supposed to do. Not say, oh, we're going to use him as a decoy. We just have a great piece in the backfield. Utilize him.
I wouldn't have re-signed McCaffrey. I wouldn't have re-signed Zeke Elliott.
So would you re-sign Dak because he got hurt?
Well,
would you franchise Dak?
Yes, I would have signed.
Why?
I said I would have signed Dak 18 months ago when they could have gotten a bargain for him, and then Jerry waited and waited and waited. But yeah,
okay. Would you have signed Carson Wentz?
Yes.
Why?
Well, he would have been the MVP in the season that they went to the Super Bowl.
You just told me. Don't tell me about that stuff in the past.
No, but that was in the moment when I was going to sign him. Would I sign him now? If you're asking me now, I'd say no. But back then,
we signed him 2 years ago. We didn't sign him after the Super Bowl. We let him play another year, and then we signed him after, and he was doing the same thing he's doing now.
I would have signed him.
So you had that quarterback bias. You believe all quarterbacks?
No, I don't understand why next man up makes more than the next guy. Like Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo should not make anywhere near what these other good, great quarterbacks.
So Jared Goff has more wins than Carson Wentz and all those other dudes. You know that, right? That's what the game is about, winning. If you go and look up the stat, he has more wins than Carson Wentz.
Well, neither's going anyplace anytime soon.
But you wouldn't pay Jared Goff, but you'd pay Carson Wentz? That's where I'm confused.
Well, I've seen Carson Wentz play at an MVP level. I haven't seen Jared Goff play at an MVP level.
I haven't seen Carson Wentz play at any level in the last
But
year
did
and a
he
half.
play at an MVP level? Has Jared Goff played at an MVP level at any point in his NFL career?
No, but who else has?
No, that's the point. Okay. I just said he's at least played at a very high level. Is he flawed now? Absolutely.
Okay, so this is my because I have this conversation all the time with people, and I love that we're having it here. This is my issue with Carson Wentz, and I tell people this all the time. If you can't win from the pocket, you will never win in the NFL. You can have the ability to scramble and do certain things, yes, but that can't be your number one attribute. That can't be you can't be an improviser. Improvisers don't win in this league. You have to be able to throw from the pocket. Carson Wentz is what we call an improviser. He scrambles to try to make the big play. He's always thinking about the big play. What you get with Jared Goff is you get the same play. It may dip a little bit, but then that consistency comes back, and you'll have a game.
Yeah, but you do the Rams games. You're speaking as a Rams analyst here.
I'm speaking as an NFL analyst. Okay,
Russell Wilson, how many plays does he make from the pocket? You don't. So Russell Wilson, you want Jared Goff over Russell Wilson?
How many interceptions did he throw when they went on the last 3-4 games? He threw 10. Well, he did. Right? You get the good with the bad. Get the good with the bad. If he gets hot, you're good. I'd rather take Aaron Rodgers over. Well, let me not say Aaron Rodgers because him and Patrick Mahomes are on another level. Let me give you another quarterback. Let me think. I'd rather take
Matt Ryan.
I'd rather take Matt Ryan
over Russell Wilson.
That's tough because Russell throws from the pot. Russell's special, but he has bad games. I don't know. I prefer consistency for the quarterback position. I don't like the streaky guys. Give me Drew Brees. Give me Drew Brees, who doesn't throw the ball over 20 yards, but he's consistent week after week after week. Or give me Teddy Bridgewater. I'll take Teddy B over a lot of these quarterbacks. I know what I'm going to get week after week, and I can game plan for it.
You want Kyler Murray or Matt Ryan?
Oh, I'll take Matt Ryan all day. And people are going to be like, you're crazy. But Kyler Murray right now, listen, I'm going to tell you why. Kyler Murray leads his team in rushing and rushing touchdowns. He's a running back playing quarterback. Like, he throws the ball. He's doing what Lamar did last year, which is awesome. But you have to win from the pocket, man. If you can't win from the pocket in this game, you will never win. When,
you know
when
how
the Rams went to the Super Bowl.
This started with me just saying, I hope you're doing well.
It started with you saying something negative about my team and the running backs and talking about these quarterbacks, man. I tell you, I just can't pay everybody.
I'm not paying Zeke Elliott. I'm not paying Zeke Elliott. I'm not.
Which running back are you? You're not going to play Christian McCaffrey after what he's done?
He hadn't played.
Neither is Dak, but you said you paid Dak.
Yes, because he's a franchise quarterback, and you got to have. If you don't have a franchise quarterback,
we could draft those guys in the 4th round, man. Don't give me that.
That's where they got him.
We could draft those guys in the 6th round. I don't want to hear that. Those guys anywhere.
Go Bruins.
Draft me a running back in the first. Give me a running back in the 1st round. I'm gonna get him for 5 years. Then I'll let someone else pay him if he's not special. But if he's a magical player like Alvin Kamara or Christian McCaffrey or Dalvin Cook, I'm going to make those. I see. This is my concern.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
I'll see you later, but I appreciate the conversation.
All right, love you. All right, thank you, Mojo. All right, that's Maurice Jones-Drew. We go back a long ways. Back to, I think, UCLA.